Hello, Guardians, and welcome to Destiny Reset, episode 124. This podcast is about anything and everything related to Destiny the game. If you love playing Destiny 2 as much as we do, you're in the right place. This reset, we prepare for the launch of Curse of Osiris, we detail Bungie's State of Destiny 2 blog post, and finally, deliver our opinions on the changes we will see in Season 2. Hello, Guardians, and welcome. It's AER0KNIGHT, and here with me, of course, Mr. CyborgSasquatch. Hey, buddy.
Hello. How are you?
How are you? I'm great.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
It's been a busy week in Guardian land.
It has. There's been a lot happened since we last recorded.
A lot.
Like, last time we were talking, we were excited for a stream.
It was like, this is going to come out Tuesdays. You know,
Wait
one day out of the news cycle, and stuff like that
Everything
happens.
changes. Exactly.
Anyways, let's get this thing started because we got lots to talk about this week.
Plenty to cover.
We've got some announcements, a few great announcements for a number of people here. First one, looks like we've got something to give away, huh?
Yeah, you know what? These are XP codes. I assume you can still use these. Yes, I assume these will still work for new players and or new level caps, do we think?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so shout out once again to the co-founder, Dirt Fam Extraordinaire. I'm going to read these like I did last time, nice and slowly. Are we ready? Are you ready, Cyborg?
Go for it.
RTRDJRX9R. That's number 1. Number 2, RTRDM9MJL. Co-founder, thanks so much, dude. Some Guardian out there is going to appreciate that XP boost.
Yep. And I have, I literally have a pile of Rockstar codes on my desk that have been sitting here. So I'm going to give those away this week on Twitter. I know for some they may not be useful, but if you think you can use them for anything, grab them, because I've got all the different kinds. I've got Hunter Can codes. I've got regular codes. I literally have like 20 tabs sitting in front of me.
Nice, man. Do it.
I got kind of hooked on those for a little while there. So.
It happens. It happens.
Next up,
What else we got?
we've got a couple of announcements for giveaways that happened and the winners thereof.
This is exciting stuff right here, dude. This is some loot.
Some nice loot. First off, we've got our November giveaway to the general public. It was a blue Yeti microphone and a pair of blue Lolas that took place on Twitter. If you missed it, had a lot of people enter. The winner, and we notified it on Twitter as well, was DZim with 2 M's 89. Congrats.
Congratulations.
They actually had it's not this exact package, but a package like it was some kind of bundle that was sold, and it was on Amazon for $140.
I saw that. Yep.
Black Friday or Cyber Monday week. That is an insane price. That's basically the headphones for free.
Yeah.
What a steal.
Pretty much.
If you needed those, you missed a really good deal. But we also had another giveaway that you had till November 30th to participate in, only for patrons. Who is the winner of that giveaway?
Congratulations to Caboose029. You are the winner.
He won
Congrats.
Either a blue mic or pair of blue Lola headphones, his choice.
Man, that's exciting.
Yeah. So we did those just for our patrons. You had to become a patron by November 30th to get an entry. And so we thank all of our new and existing patrons, and this was a way we wanted to do something nice. I know we couldn't get everybody a new set of gear, but at least for one lucky patron.
Exciting stuff. Congratulations, guys. There'll be more. We'll we'll have some more loot to give away very soon.
Oh yeah,
so
there'll be more in December. Stay tuned. All right, so let's get into some news. Lots of news this week.
Lots of news. A lot of news.
This week at Bungie, we're looking forward to new reasons to play Destiny 2. I think I can agree with that. So, first things first, and they don't explicitly bring this up in the TWAB, but the stream that was scheduled for this past Wednesday, the 29th, was actually canceled. I think it was that Monday, the 27th. They announced they were canceling it, and we would instead receive just a blog post from Luke Smith and Mark Noseworthy.
Yeah, it was interesting because his tweet, really kind of hinted at the stream, and then very quickly the stream was canceled, and it was a blog post from him.
I realized after the show went live, like, their initial tweet about giving us some other information, like, I realized when I went back and read it, they didn't say they were going to be on the stream, but for some reason, like, just reading it, I just assumed that.
Yeah, so did I. You remember we talked about it last week, because I said, I was like, wait, do you think they'll be on the couch with them? You think they'll do something separate?
We totally thought. So, anyways, in hindsight, we were wrong about that, but they decided to cancel the stream altogether. I think this was mostly due to the fact that people were really antsy and getting really worked up over a number of things, and we'll talk about this some when we get to reset, but I think it was a smart move on their behalf to just focus on this blog and not have a quote unquote, Destiny fashion show.
Right.
Without the content people really wanted,
In a typical scenario, everybody's pumped, wants to see that stuff, but right now, the way, the things people are talking about and the things people are wanting, the streams really are getting some interesting feedback. Yeah. Yep. So, not creating the happy buzz that it normally does at the moment.
Right. So, that being said, on the 29th, which was that Wednesday, we received a blog, The State of Destiny, and then also a Bungie podcast.
Yes.
And I think it was great that they kind of hit a couple different fronts. We got a really expanded blog post, and then to couple with that a blog, a podcast that really was a more open format and gave us some insight to their thought processes and things.
Podcast was so great, dude. It was such a good episode.
Yeah, so I would go and check out both of those pieces of content they put out if you're interested in just what Destiny development is like right now for that team. And we're going to talk about those items some more, but let's move on to the Curse of Osiris on the Runway topic. They put out a trailer.
They gave us the teaser.
Yeah, that featured new weapons and armor. Some really cool looking stuff. Some emotes they showed off. They showed off some weapons, some armor sets. All this stuff looks pretty cool. Did you see the spider gun?
I did not catch it in this teaser, no.
Oh, dude, they showed off like pretty straightforward. They show him shooting it, and then the spider's chasing the guy, and then it blows up a warlock. Go back and watch it.
I'm watching it again right now. How did I not see this? Oh, there it is.
Everything happens
I see it.
really quick,
Yeah, I see it right there.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Pretty wacky. There was a screen grab that somebody put up, actually Personal Daniel, at Personal Daniel, I think, who is a guy that works at Crucible Radio. He does graphic design for them. And he pointed out that there's a Guardian holding a hand cannon styled after Red Death.
Yeah, I've started seeing thumbnails all over YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Like, wait a second.
You saw what looked like a solar version or laser version of Cold Heart. There's all kinds of cool stuff in here. The armor looks pretty cool. It looks like some raid armor is part of what we're looking at. Drop the mic emote, and then at the very end, you saw the sweeper emote.
Oh yeah,
people were asking for that, man, like very specifically, and I'm glad that they brought it out.
Very
cool trailer. Go check it out. I actually think it's cool that we got this little bit, and then the rest of it we just get to go check out when the game goes live.
I'd have to agree,
because I felt like in the past it's kind of spoiled it, some of the joy of like, look at this cool armor, like look what I got.
Sometimes that gear coverage we could probably skip, right?
Yeah, I could live with it without it. You know,
trailer's I'm excited for me. Like, even if we weren't getting some of this other stuff we're going to talk about over the next week or two, just to dive into some new content to grind through, it's close. I'm excited.
I am excited as well. Over in the Destiny Operations Center, manned by Destiny Player Support, they give us...
Pre-flight check.
They give us a pre-flight checklist. So they talk about there's going to be some maintenance... well, there already was maintenance on the 1st, Friday the 1st. That was a good part of the day. And then there's going to be another maintenance period on Tuesday on reset. So they're going to allow us to preload it, but this is kind of strange to me, but you can't preload until Tuesday. And they said 8 a.m. Pacific. The storage requirements have everybody kind of confused, but
all over the board, dude.
So so this is the best explanation. Like, these are really high storage requirements, but this is what's required for installation. Like the available size you need available on your drive, but the download is not going to be this size. I think they said it's 4 gigs.
Delete 3 games just to end up with a couple gigs of...
I'm just really glad I bought an extra, like a big hard drive for my Xbox this year.
On my list for my PS4, dude, because I still have 200 plus hours of Destiny 1 and 2 footage.
Man, they've had a lot of good sales on hard drives recently. Yeah. I don't know if you can check them out.
Over the holiday sales.
Yeah. But PlayStation 4, you're going to need 88 gigabytes. Xbox One, 44 gigabytes, and PC, 68 gigabytes of available storage.
I may be deleting Fortnite again on my PS4.
Just leave Fortnite BR on there and you're good, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then isn't it a separate client?
No, I don't think so, man.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so.
You could just download the Fortnite BR.
Oh, you can, but it's still, I have to check to see the size. Okay. Yeah, you could be right if I go in and check the actual size of it.
Delete gears or something.
Yeah. You're talking, look at you, Xbox guy. There's no gears on my PS4.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we're talking about the PlayStation. My bad.
That's all good.
Subliminal messages.
Right.
And then they talk about the weekly reset change. They announced, if you missed it, a month or two ago, I don't remember when, but I think it was just maybe a month ago, they announced they're changing the weekly reset time to coincide with when their new content goes live. So that's going to change this Tuesday, and it's going to be 1700 UTC. In America, that's 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, and then they list some other times, but you can go convert it to your local time using that. It's a universal time.
Man, it's going to be an adjustment. I'm glad. It actually makes complete sense, and it's going to be fantastic, but it's still going to be an adjustment.
Well, I think the great thing is it gives you like all night the last day of the reset if you're trying to like wrap some stuff up. And how great is it going to be on like those Monday trials runs?
Oh, yeah.
Because I've been in a few of those where, you know, we get on and we're like, so here's what happens. We're running a card, it goes well, and then halfway through maybe it messes up and it's like maybe like 1 o'clock or something, or 1:30. And we're like, yeah, no point in starting a card because there's literally no way we could finish before reset.
Exactly. Yep.
That right there, I think, is a great reason why this is happening, because you could play, you know, until you finished. and not have to give up. So
this would be nice.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that's the time the game goes live, because what I haven't seen is them say anywhere specifically, hey, it goes live at this time. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
So
usually it would be mid-morning, even with the old school reset. So
I have to assume it happens on reset, I guess.
Yeah. Roughly the same time.
We'll find out. Keep an eye on at Bungie or at Bungie Help. Just to be 100% certain about that. Oh, here we go. It says, this is at Bungie Help. Destiny 2 Update 1.1.0 and the Curse of Osiris DLC will be available to download at 8 a.m. Pacific time on Tuesday, 12/5, and will be available to play once server maintenance has ended. Expected duration is 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific time. So yeah, that would be expecting to finish an hour after reset.
Your answer already.
Just got to read all the stuff.
Word for word.
All right. Some pretty cool movies of the week. Did you check out the Destiny Girl?
I did, man. You know,
it's
this
thumbnail. Goofy.
Yeah, this thumbnail is awesome. But when I jumped into it, I can't imagine how much work went into this. Like, I enjoyed it. But I was really hoping for like a serious web series.
Yeah, this is like a goofy, it looks serious, but this is like a goofy, comedic, live action Destiny cosplay thing. But like what cracks me up about stuff, so this is like really high production value. I looked at the channel, like they apparently do a lot of stuff like this for different games and geek related stuff. And it looks like really high production value stuff, but it just always cracks me up, like when you can kind of tell that they're not, and I'm not trying to be like elitist about this, but that they're not like mainly interested in Destiny. Does that make sense?
Right, yeah.
Because there's stuff that's just kind of like, they're not quite hitting with the jokes. There's just little things. I don't know.
Man, I was so hoping it was like a serious web series too. Like I said, I wanted
somebody did that.
It looked so promising, you know. And then it's fine, the angle it took and everything, but till next time.
But it's cool nonetheless. Apparently, this is going to be a series of episodes called Destiny Girl. I think the title right there is what.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you're going to call it, Destiny Girl. Anyways, and then there's a pretty cool montage, a Voidlock montage.
This thing, I didn't even, this Suros sniper wasn't even on my radar.
Yeah, I don't even
I watched this thing. I went and looked up to see where you even can acquire this thing. Now, I forget the name of it now, but I believe you can get it on Titan and, of course, a couple other methods. But I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go track this thing down.
It's definitely his favorite gun.
Yeah, no question. I mean, some of these sniper montages, dude, holy cow. Like, these guys are great. Guys or gals.
Yeah, you don't see I'm starting to see snipers more often in the Crucible. I played a lot of Crucible this week, and I ran into a few matches where there was just a couple guys that were sniping the whole time.
Dude, the hip fire that is done in this montage is crazy, over and over again. And the confidence you can see that they're playing at while doing it. Like, I mean, I'm Destiny 1 sniper, like, through and through, and I have a shotty out most of the time right now, just because, like, if I get my sniper out, it's I need to practice with it more, but it's just to kind of challenge myself in the current Crucible state. You know, it's like, it's just not the first choice at the moment. But,
yeah, and I really don't care for either of them in Destiny 2, to be honest. Snipers or shotguns, not in the Crucible. I'd much rather have a play the game or a sword.
Yeah, I just can't get rockets. I don't have the raid rocket, man, but rockets just don't do it for me. So I get out that shotgun to at least know I can close in with a one-shot kill. But a lot of maps don't
triple kill with a rocket. last week, and that was probably
I still
the
don't
best
have one
I've
with
done.
cluster bombs, dude.
Yeah, you want those.
Yeah, I'm rocking blue shift right now because I can't seem to land one that has the cluster.
Yeah. You can get that raid rocket, man. It's not too hard to get.
Yeah, I'd like to run the raid on PC now. I got the itch now ever since running it on PS4 the other week. I had a blast.
Maybe in two weeks or so, once we get this new content sorted, we can we go do it together.
That'd be fun.
And then, of course, we'll have the other raid to do as well.
Right? Yeah. New
I hope you
boss,
don't have to
encounter.
finish the first one to play the second one, because then we'll be like, oh, man, got to do it.
Yeah. Maybe we will like that.
DimG04 mentions at the end of the TWAB, he said, while Cosmo's out, I'll be collecting feedback, forwarding it to the development team. Even after Cosmo's back, I'll continue to lend a hand in the process. Sounds like he will be helping out the community management team and working with feedback, so that's cool. Yeah,
we got to give a shout out and say follow him because he's it's A_DMG04. He's been throwing up all kinds of little tidbits here and there, like the preloading and stuff like that. So
yeah, be sure to give him a follow on Twitter if you're interested. So in other news, let's see. We had our blog posts and the podcast, which we're going to talk about in the reset here. We asked for some feedback on Twitter, which you guys really delivered on. We're going to talk about that.
Dude, tell them about that.
Oh my gosh.
Thing.
So
you text me this, you're like, get it.
Dude, this came out of nowhere. This is not something I knew at all was coming, and I paid really close attention to all the merch, and all the stuff that they preview or you can find or anything. Had no idea this was coming around, but so there is a product made or sold by Amazon, and it is a ghost that you can hook up to an Amazon Alexa enabled device, such as the Echo or the Echo Dot, and it allows you to utilize what is called an Alexa skill, which an Alexa skill, think of it almost like a plugin or an app.
The Matrix.
Yeah, and it will it will allow you to communicate with your ghost and perform actions within the game, such as equipping a certain loadout. That was awesome. You can create loadouts, equipping a certain item, asking ghosts questions about the game, about your clan, about your player. Apparently,
that was my question for it. It's not actually an echo. It's just a ghost.
This is technically a ghost that is a speaker.
Okay. I was going to say, yeah, we have an Echo. We actually have a Google Home as well. But so I believe you need the Echo. You've got to buy the Echo.
Yeah, I believe you can technically use this skill without this product. I have not 100% confirmed that because I don't have an Echo yet. But I looked into it as much as I could, and I believe that you can get that skill, put it on your Echo, and do this without this product. This is basically a speaker that looks like a ghost. It lights up, and it uses Nolan North voice work to respond to you. The only thing I saw that I'm disappointed about is you have to say, Alexa, ask Ghost to equip my blah, blah, blah. I want to be like, Ghost.
Yeah.
Equip my,
Yeah, we have an Echo Dot, and we got real used to saying Alexa. Like I said, we've got a Google Home now too, so throughout our house you'll hear "Hey Google" or "Hey Alexa."
Nice.
Multiple times.
Nice. Well, we were looking at these Echoes. My wife had actually asked specifically for one like a couple weeks ago. She's like, I really want one of these Echoes. Like, my friends have them. They're really cool. And I was like, okay, we'll check it out. Well, guess what pushed that purchase?
Yeah.
I was like, honey, we're getting Echoes now.
Let's do this thing.
Here's
I'm totally on board.
And I got the deepest eye roll.
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, dude. What I was gonna say is talk about cringeworthy. Go watch the trailers for it or the ads on Amazon.
Yeah, I saw.
The guy that's in them. Like, there's one point when he's got a blue hand cannon and he's not like even close to aiming at the alien, and then it pans back to him and he makes like this interesting face that is supposed to be engaged, and then it goes back and he's like, equip my best rocket launcher.
Yeah.
And then it all of a sudden throws a purple legendary rocket launcher in his loadout. Anyways, I mean, you can't expect them to be on point. But it's just like
marketing. But this is a limited series item. That's what they describe it as. So there's going to be a limited run of them. $90.
Yeah, for
a ghost speaker.
I know. I gotta tell you, I didn't order it yet.
I bought one.
Dude, I almost did, and I'm like, man, I don't know, $90.
And it's interesting they made it black. It doesn't look like any of the in-game ghosts that I've seen, but it's just such a it's obviously it's a collector's item before it's a useful
cool.
item. I couldn't say no. I mean,
I pulled it up a couple times, man, and I'm like, and then even the countdown timer, like almost, I'm like almost there. I just not yet. I'm gonna wait.
Yeah, I have a Destiny merch problem, and my wife is.
Dude, I already don't have room
with
on my shelf.
I have so much stuff right now. Speaking of, there was a Black Friday quote unquote sale on the Bungie store. They had some new items, shirts, jackets, really cool looking stuff. They only had like a few items actually on sale, which if you missed like some of the new shirts and stuff that were available when Destiny 2 released, those were a little cheaper. They may still be up. But they had if you remember the Ghost plush, they had like an updated version of that, and it looks like the ghost that you have when you very first start Destiny 2.
Oh yeah.
Of course I grabbed that, and then they had a little chibi Cade plush, and he's holding a little chicken. It's pretty cute. Got that too.
Cyborg.
Couldn't help myself.
Man, do we need to like reel you in, man?
I keep saying I'm gonna stop, but I can't.
Like, I mean, I buy the merch, but you're on a whole nother level.
Well, at this point, it's to me, it's like a collecting thing. It's a collection.
Yeah,
it's a collection. They have a really cool.
I totally get it.
Hoodie. It kind of looks more like a rain jacket with a hood, but it looks pretty cool. It's a tactical hoodie.
Ooh. I will own that Bungie mug. I have yet to order it, but
get one of those.
I do want that. I don't know why. I like it. It looks cool. Very simple.
Yeah. So they had some cool stuff, Buy the stuff if you like. If you don't, it's cool.
The things.
Yeah. Bungie mug is still available for sale right now, by the way.
Might have to bite on that fairly quickly.
Yeah. There was also a exclusive emblem that you got.
Well, of course.
Duh. So, I think that's all the major news this week, right?
Yeah, all except the biggest portion that we're going to cover here in a minute.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in depth. So, how was your reset, AER0KNIGHT?
Man, my reset was great. I fit in some trials on PC this weekend.
Nice. How did that go?
I think
was it maybe survival on Altar of Flame?
Dead Cliffs. Oh, right? Is that the name of the map? I think it was Altar of Flame 2 weekends ago, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I think
maybe somebody was joking. I saw somebody on Twitter be like, "It's survival on Altar of Flame," and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, it was pretty rough on that map. I think that was Dirt Fan Weekend meetup. But anyways, this map, not too bad. It's too small to camp, or I gotta say, for survival, the way that it is now, which I have already mentioned several times, isn't in a great state right now. Mm-hmm. This map really allowed it to be kind of okay. It's a smaller map. You can't really hide in a corner. And also because it's a smaller map, the 2-minute time frame really didn't come into play too much. There wasn't really a lot of rounds. I mean, we still had those rounds where 25, 30 seconds left, we're down a kill or two, and we got to run across the map to even try to go into overtime. But it was just way less severe than it has been on other maps since they've made this change to survival. But the first, I think this is only the second time I did have done trials on PC. It was super sweaty the first weekend that I went in, to be expected. I don't remember how close that was to the first weekend it launched. It may have been that weekend. But this weekend, we got the 3 wins. It was a team of 4 of us that have never played together before. That's how I've been going in lately. It was just with 4 friends and or Dirt Fam. And in real life friends, I mean. So it's, you go in, you get 3 wins, you've never really played together. I mean, that's a success in my book. So yeah. We had a good time. I've been working on my PC loadout. It's so easy to log in on PC because you're usually sitting at your computer anyways. We've talked about this. So it's not like it's that hard to boot up my PS4, but I'm just sitting here checking Discord, checking this, email, and I'm like, oh, there's the Blizzard launcher. Play. So like I log in and I'm just looking, I run to the tower, see if there's any clan engrams. But I've been working on my PC build. I think I'm like 278 light, so I kind of hit a wall. I've been 260, 270 for a while, but dude, I got Dire Promise, I got Prosecutor. Thank you, Destiny Reset Bronze, for that clan engram. I needed a auto rifle in my energy slot. And running Shoddy or Sniper, and it's feeling so good, dude. Hand cannons, we've already talked about, feel great on PC. Dire Promise feels amazing on console, so it feels like fantabulous on PC. It's so fast firing, it just feels so good. And you couple that with Prosecutor, it's feeling good. And I got, I've got the Lady Titan on PC. So, which you said you don't like how the armor looks. Maddie's my fellow Titan buddy. He is the opposite, and I am too, dude. Like I like to figure out what armor looks cool on a female Titan, and I actually went all Dead Orbit this weekend because he brought it to my attention that I had a little bit of mobility in some of my armor. So Dead Orbit has like 0 mobility. So anyways, I've been nerding out on my PvP build.
Yeah,
on PC.
Good. That's what makes it fun.
Well, plus I've got Actium on PC and console, so I've been working. Like, it's pretty simple to switch to your PvE loadout. I won't say simple, but like get Actium. I love running double autos, so I'm kind of been getting like the PvE fever a little bit. Like this DLC couldn't drop at a better time because I kind of just want to step away from the Crucible for a little bit and just enjoy some just chill PvE content. So. Anyways, fit in a little Zelda, Portal Knights. What'd you do this week, man?
Man, so I played a good bit on both console and PC, knocking out pretty much all the milestone stuff. Kind of went over to Xbox I did some stuff, mainly on my Hunter, just trying to pick up more gear for him. Looking through, cleaned out stuff out of my vault, trying to get ready for next week, to make room, because I definitely needed some more room. So, clearing out stuff like that. And then played a good bit on PC as well. Good amount of Crucible, having a good time with that. I don't know, just kind of all the usual stuff, just kind of dove in. Did a lot of the reset stuff and milestones.
Yeah, it's amazing how many just running trials and some Crucible matches, how much of the milestones you knock out without even realizing.
Oh yeah, you'll knock them out pretty quick. I think I might need to do a Nightfall on PC. I think
I'm down.
What I need. Let's do it.
Yeah. Sounds fun.
Yeah, so I did that, and then I spent some time this weekend playing some more Assassin's Creed Origins.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah, I'm very much hooked hooked on that right now. So I like
still hearing good things about that game.
It's a lot of fun, man. It's really good. I've run into some really strange and funny bugs, but it's kind of the normal stuff you see in Assassin's Creed games, if that makes any sense. Like just like people like player NPCs like doing weird stuff, but it's like it's nothing game breaking or anything. I just kind of laugh, dude. The craziest thing. All right, when you go play this game, you'll understand. But I'm just kind of like going through the world doing something. I think I finished a quest, and then I'm like riding back on my horse, and all of a sudden I hear there's like an audible chime that happens when you're spotted by an enemy in this game, or an enemy becomes aware of you, and it does it for animals as well. Like there's a lot of wildlife in the game. So if an animal sees you and is provoked, if it's an aggressive animal, you'll hear it. It's like, doom. And so I hear it, and then I hear like a lion roar. And I'd seen lions in the game, but they were always in captivity. Like sometimes you'll see them in cages or something. And I'd fought one, like I went and like let it out of the cage and then killed it to get its pelt, you know? But this was the first time I'd ran into one in the wild. And I was like, okay, you know, no biggie. Like I'll fight this lion. And so like I'm shooting it with my bow and arrow on my horse. And then I like swing my camera around and I see like two more, and I'm like, oh, there's a few lions. I start fighting them. I swing my camera around another angle. There's more lions. I am not kidding. There was 12 lions showed up. It was an entire pride of lions. And the thing is, the lions in the game, they're really fast. Like they will chase you down, and they actually killed my horse.
Oh, I wondered about that. Yeah.
So I ran out of arrows. I was down to like my last life bar. Like you have like 3 nodes of life, and if you get below one of the nodes, it won't recharge that. So like if you get down to like your last node of life, you can only recharge that third of your health. Does that make sense? So that's what I had left, and I had to like basically run around and dash and dodge and somehow fight and kill 12 lions because they would not let me get away.
Dude, I love that.
It was so intense.
Immersion in games, though. It reminds me of just totally reminded me of playing Far Cry 3. I think it was 3 or 4. I can't remember. And I love when wildlife is in games like that. I remember
it adds an element of like,
yeah, like you, especially if you're just zoned in on the world and you're just letting yourself fully get into it. I remember there was like some deer or something just running around the water. And I mean, I'm like ultimate animal lover. I can't even watch, like, I can watch like Animal Planet stuff, but I can't watch other, even though I understand it's like the circle of life. Like, I do not want to see a lion like ripping another animal apart. So I'm like, I'm watching these deer just kind of around the water, and then an alligator and I'm just like in the world, you know, you're totally a part of it, not even really doing anything, just watching. Wow, the graphics look cool. Alligator, dude, jumps out of the water and takes one of them in.
Oh, wow.
Dude, and that's just like those moments are just unreal in video games, dude. So I would imagine something like that could happen in the new Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, there's been a couple moments where I was not fully aware of my surroundings, and I got like just rocked by like a crocodile or something. But this was the most like intense because cool, I was pretty sure I was gonna die. Yeah, and I somehow pulled it off. And
the ultimate boss in Assassin's Creed Origins,
pretty much. Yeah. Apparently, I haven't gotten to it, but apparently there's like war elephants and stuff you can fight. Like, there's all kinds of crazy stuff in this game.
Dude, I waited and waited for Amazon to have it for $30, and Darth told me that they did on a lightning deal, but I checked it like probably 20 times that day, and the closest I got was 45 for the deluxe edition. And I knew like Best Buy and Walmart had it for $30, but I'm like, I want to order it on Amazon. We got Prime membership, yada yada, and it never dropped, dude. And now it's like it's been 50 to 60, and I want to buy this game. Like it would be better if not, maybe, because then I would put Zelda on pause, and I really just want to finish a game right now.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
It sounds so fun. It sounds so fun.
It's pretty fun.
You're making me want to play it.
It's a fun
game. You gotta
game.
update me every week.
It is so big. Like, it's so big. Oh my gosh. I mean, I don't know how many hours I'm into it now, but I'm not even a third of the way through the map.
Well, that's the issue with games right now. We've talked about it.
Yeah.
They take forever to beat.
Yeah. This one's going to be...
That is an issue.
It's going to be a while. It's going to be hundreds of hours, not tens of hours.
Gamer problems.
Yeah. But I'm still having fun. It's not like getting old to me or anything, or, you know, it's a lot of what, you know, you've probably played in Assassin's Creed games, but
I just love the setting too, though.
The setting's
I'm all
really
about
cool.
That Egyptian setting.
Yeah. Setting's really cool. I like it. I like the I guess just the setting, the design of it, and the colors and the landscapes are really interesting and different, you know. So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's in my cart, dude. I check it at least once or twice a day to see if it's on sale. I'm looking for that $29.99.
Yeah. So that's what I played over the weekend. Having a good time, just kind of zoning out, single player, chilling, playing some of that.
Very cool.
Yeah. But,
that's the zone I've been in with Zelda. Just kind of jump into a world and totally immerse yourself in it.
Yeah, it's fun. So let's talk about this blog post.
The State of Destiny 2. It's so dramatic.
Yeah, so they Luke Smith and Chris Barrett apparently wrote this, and their goal, I'm summarizing and paraphrasing here because we don't have time to read this entire thing to you, but
go check it out.
They're talking about, you know, where Destiny is at today, where it's going. They mentioned they've been reading tough criticism about our lack of communication, and we agree we need to be more open. The biggest statement, I think, right here in the intro is, going forward, Destiny 2's post-launch game systems, features, and updates are being designed specifically to focus on and support players who want Destiny to be their hobby.
Yes, please.
I think that is the most impactful statement they make in this entire post. Especially because of something they talk about in the podcast. So I got 3 big things out of the podcast, but the first one was, in the beginning, they talk about how in the studio, they kind of loosely use a category for different types of players. And they kind of sort them into 3 different groups. The first one being tourists. Those are the players who are casual. They show up, they may never finish the campaign, or they finish the campaign, play a little while, and then move on. Which I think there's a lot of people that fit into that category. The next is collectors, which they describe as people that play 50 to 100 hours plus, but not every day, and maybe not even every week. Maybe every couple weeks, and they come back for updates and things like that, and they play. They're interested in just like seeing all the gear, collecting experiences, etc., right? And then the last one is hobbyists, and those are people who are the most hardcore devoted portion of the audience. They want to play every day. They feel the need to be on there constantly. A lot of, you know, like it said, it's a hobbyist. Like, they play the game as a hobby.
Hello, Arrow and Cyborg.
Yeah. So I think that being said, and they very specifically classify what those terms mean to them, the fact that they are going to gear all of their future systems updates, content around hobbyists, I think is a really big statement, and I think it's really encouraging for those of us that fit in that category, feel that they fit in that category.
Yeah, I mean, this blog and the podcast, I mean, we're going to cover several things over the next many minutes, but they say multiple times this is the communication we want to have going forward with you guys. And I get that's a challenge for them. But this blog post obviously is pretty meaty. We may not get something quite this meaty all the time. But the podcast, we were just talking about it in Discord. Like, if they released a monthly podcast and it was even half as transparent as this one was, dude, it would do so much. And to hear them talk about hobbyists, and they even said on the podcast as well, really hit home with me. They talked about how they realize, you know, people are passionate about the game because they love it, but they also, whether they acknowledge it or not, and this is so true, there are many hours a week that these guardians aren't possibly aren't spending with their online friends or their in real life friends because they're not playing Destiny, and that is impactful to them.
Yeah.
And to hear them even talk about that is really cool, because it's so true. Like, there are several people in the Dirt fam and even in real life friends that I'm not talking to as much on a weekly basis because we're not playing Destiny as much right now. Of course, we could go play another game, but Destiny is the game that brings us together. That's always been the case.
Yeah.
So
sure.
I don't know. It's
that
the podcast
that meant a lot
was
to
excellent
me as well. And that was something Luke Smith brought up, that he realize the social aspect of that and how they recognize why people that play the game that way feel the way that they do right now because of that phenomena. And
they may not even have acknowledged it themselves. They might not even have heard this podcast and still aren't, you know, but it's even, you know, like my cousin is an example. We talk about it all the time. He lives in a different city now, but even other friends that are even in my town, life's busy. And unless you go grab lunch, like, gaming allows us to get some friend time in. And say what you will about Deej many weeks ago about it being the friend game, the end game. Like, there is a portion of that, and you fit in that time with your friends. And like I said, that hit home with me big time. So to hear them talk about hobbyists and people like us, Destiny is my main game, and for them to acknowledge that and that they want to get it back to that point, that excites me, and I really hope that I know they will. I hope it's soon, and just to hear them talk about it is very encouraging.
Yeah, it was especially encouraging to me because I've kind of, over the course of Destiny 2 releasing, like, we've talked about it a lot, but I kind of came to terms with the fact that a lot of the way the game was designed was not specifically with players like me in mind. And, you know, that is okay to an extent. It left me wanting some things for how I liked to play the game. So it's really encouraging that, you know, okay, we did it this way. We made these choices. Now we're going to make choices that focus and cater to a player like me. And that's really encouraging for me because I want to continue to play Destiny 2. I want to continue to be engaged. I don't want to say like I want it to be just like Destiny 1, but I want the same enjoyment. I want the same social experience that I was able to get from Destiny 1. Those are some of the things that were important to me. Is like, is it a game that will, in any different way, whether it's fun or chasing loot or whatever it is, like, is it a game that can engage me and my friends and keep us there on a regular basis? Like, that's a thing that is important to me as a player, that, like you said, that like you want to main this game, like this, that you want this to be your hobby. So they've got to be able to hit some really important, you know, aspects of how the game is built to do that. So
yeah,
it's encouraging. They've got to make some real big strides to see that happen, and it's not going to happen overnight or right now. But they're communicating their intent, and it's up to them to see that through. And I think they're making some steps in the right direction with what they're going to tell us about in this blog post.
I will say, before we get into some of these nice little features that we're going to be getting, they've mentioned about communicating and being transparent to us before. And we don't have it
after the Taken
right
King.
now. Right. So I will say it probably, from what I remember, wasn't as dramatic of a setting as this that we're at right now.
No.
So it is crucial. If anyone at Bungie listens to our show, which we think maybe a couple of you do. I'm just kidding. Anyways, like, please, just even, I had to tweet at them, like, even if you say, no, that is not something we're going to do, we can't do it, or we're not going to do it, we don't think it's good for the game, I don't care if that's what you tell us. Just the fact that you're telling us that, giving us an answer, like the communication in just a subtle portion of the TWAB each week, or keep it in this blog format, but a quarter of the size once every couple weeks. Release that podcast once a month if you can. At least once every 2 months. It will go such a long way. Like, such a long way, I think. For you don't even, it's not even so much about transparency. It's just communicating that you're acknowledging that you hear some of the feedback we're giving you. We understand it's not all the best feedback. It's not all great. Like, it just doesn't make sense sometimes. But a lot of it is, and just you guys acknowledging, Bungie acknowledging that, that they're thinking about it is huge. It's so how that TWAB that Christopher Barrett threw in those bullet points, that was just like, everybody read that, and they're like, oh, okay, awesome. Okay, we've been
now we know what
that.
direction we're headed, right?
Yeah, and it's I get it's challenging. It's not just as simple as let's just talk to them. You want it to be that, but they can't tell us. We've talked about this before. They can't tell us about something that may never make it into the game. It's got to be pretty concrete. But I get it's a challenge for them to do it, but I really feel like they've got to hit that mark with the communication with the fans and the player base.
I think the conversation has been going on about communication between developers and fans on a grander basis, on a larger basis. There's been, people that had tweeted about, that conversation that started some really important conversations about why devs communicate ways that they do, both good and bad. And I see people that mention like the fact that the toxicity of players that play this game on such a grand scale is so horrific at times. And people say, well, if it were me, I wouldn't want to open my mouth either when you look at the stuff people say.
Right.
And I think that is it's a fair point, but I think that is going to happen no matter what.
So you might as well just.
I think that that is going to happen on the internet. There's ignorant people. There's angry people, unintelligent people that are always going to have something stupid to put out into the world. And I don't think that we should allow that to be an excuse for any company or developer to not proactively and routinely communicate with their fan base in a game like this. A game like this that is an ongoing, always live, developing, evolving game. We need regular communication, and it is up to Bungie. They mention, and I've heard it many times over the years, they don't want to promise us something until they know it's a sure thing. And I think that's fair, because they don't want to have, they don't want to be known for having a bad track record or having, not holding to their word, because that can create further problems. But I think that communicating on the scale that, okay, like these are things we're aware of, this is our intent, these are things we're looking at, these are ways that we're trying to tackle this problem, or this is ways that we're trying to improve your experience, or these are things that we'd like to do. Mm-hmm. That in and of itself can buy you a lot of goodwill from your community.
Yeah, for sure.
It can steer people to the right type of conversation that you want. But if you would rather not do that because you're so afraid of backlash, then it really only gets worse.
Right. Yeah, and I'm sure there's angles that, we're not on their side of the table, things we're not thinking of that makes, like I said, makes the communication with us challenging. But like you're saying now, there's ways to do it, ways to chat with us, ways to keep the communication open. You don't always have to be 100% transparent. We get there's things you're working on behind the scenes that we don't need to know about, or it could spoil the game, or it could, things that may never be implemented. But I don't know. It's crucial from this moment on, dude. The blog post, again, a super meaty blog post. Obviously, they're not all going to be like that. But the podcast was great. I get it. We get the TWAB every week. The TWAB is great. That's more than a lot of developers do. We appreciate that. But, a lot of times the TWAB just is kind of hitting the
bullet points.
The bullet points every week. So whether it's a little portion in the TWAB each week that kind of takes someone from the team like you do sometimes and you update us, maybe keep it separate in blog posts here and there. I don't know. They said it multiple times. This is the communication they want to keep going forward. I'm very amped for them to do that.
They mentioned in the podcast, I think Mark Noseworthy specifically talks about the fact that, we're saying this but he acknowledges that it's totally up to them to prove it, to deliver on what they're saying they want to do differently. And I appreciate the fact that they realize that they've got to put their money where their mouth is. So,
well, and we got to keep in mind too, just the natural, schedule of life. Like they mentioned, we're going into the holiday season. Like I'm thinking, man, this
sure.
Obviously, times are busier. New Year's coming. Like
I don't expect anything until January again.
Right. Yeah. Right. And it's like, let's do our part too as the Destiny community. Like let's keep it constructive, hold the salt, as we used to say, and let them. Let's let them show us how they're going to do this.
Yeah. So that all being said, I think that kind of explains our attitudes towards the overall package here and
specifics.
What our expectation is. Yeah, let's talk about some of these. At least let's talk about some of the major updates that we have incoming. First of all, they're going to have
cruise through this.
Yeah, they're going to have
we got a bunch.
Kind of almost like 3 different updates they're promising here. So we're going to see some stuff December 5th. We're going to see some stuff a week later on the 12th, and then we're going to see other things next year. It kind of seems like they're alluding to or steering to January for some things.
Yeah, it seems like maybe even further. I mean, I'm just going to say right now, ranked play is mentioned. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that's
2018. Exciting. Yeah, dude. Like that's what I'm thinking. Isn't even like January. That's probably like
that could be
in my eyes like
3 or 4
TTK
thing
style expansion. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, but we'll go down the list here. So, new systems and rewards to give our most engaged players additional optional pursuits, including a new weapon tier, Masterworks. This encompasses a lot of what I've seen people ask for in ways to improve legendary weapons. So it's going to have stat trackers, random rerollable stat bonuses.
Stats, not perks, right?
Yeah. Unique item tooltips and item details screens. So the way that they, or the pictures that I saw, where did I see this? Yeah, it's further down. This is going to be in the December update. So they'll have like, you'll get a You can get a regular legendary weapon, and then you can get a masterwork weapon. And so it's like a different drop. Wait, I'm looking at this. I think this is a December 12th. Yeah, this is a December 12th update.
Yeah, week following the.
They also
the DLC.
generate orbs for you and your allies on multi-kills. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like an example of. I'm assuming that's one of possibly more examples of. At some point,
I think
maybe
that's
not
like
with this update.
just a perk just for any masterwork weapon.
Masterwork,
like it's an extra perk almost.
I'm hoping maybe they expand on that possibly. In the future.
You can dismantle unwanted versions into materials that can upgrade an existing legendary weapon into a masterwork. And then raid and trials of the 9 weapons have a very high chance to be masterworks. And they mentioned they have future plans to extend this to other gear and expose your kill counts in more places. I think this is really cool and interesting, and it's a foundation for some really interesting ways that they could deepen.
Yeah, I mean, it's giving us more depth.
Loot
That's
game,
what we want.
You know. Yeah.
I hope, with a lot of these things, they're looking way out, and a lot of people you see on Twitter mentions, a couple of these are like Band-Aid quick fixes, but I would imagine they're thinking further down the road than that.
Yeah.
Hopefully with
these are things,
layers of these
they
things.
roll this out, and then by the next expansion, and then later on the year, like these are things that they can improve, that they can push forward, that they can do more interesting things with. They're gonna. I see it as they're slowly kind of deciding, okay, we want to take this particular item, loot, for instance, like weapons, in this direction. This is how we can make it interesting, and then they can expand on that.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So then next we have, let's see, improved vendor rewards. You'll be able to purchase items directly with legendary shards and tokens as well. And then they're going to have armor ornaments that grant visual permutations of armor as players complete specific challenges. This is exactly what I've asked for a long time.
Yeah, this is cool. Really cool.
Give us unique ways to show off that we've done specific challenges like this.
And how certain guardians play the game,
Yeah. Absolutely.
You'll see.
So we might see specializations.
What their favorite activities are. Yeah.
Like, hey, check out this dude. He got that ornament on this because he got 100 flawless wins or something like that. They can do some really cool stuff with this.
Definitely. Yeah. Next couple bullet points. These are kind of quick ones here. Better incentives for players who complete challenging prestige activities, but this is targeted for January. I'm sure many was hoping it was a little sooner than that, because I know the prestige activities are a hot topic. Better rewards and replay value for strikes, adventures, and lost sectors. It says in December we will be introducing heroic strikes, which we saw on the stream, with more generous strike rewards, and then rewards for adventures and lost sectors are still on our radar, but won't be in the December updates. So
I'm disappointed about that last one, because I thought that we were getting that with
that's what it seems like.
Osiris, but it seems like they may have put that one on the back burner.
Yeah.
But, hey, private matches for the Crucible targeting early 2018, and they expect to have better insight into timing in the new year. And then they mentioned we're moving ranked PvP to the top of our priority list for next year to support the competitive community.
Very cool.
Seems like a long-term goal for them. That's a biggie.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, just even mentioned, again, that's the communication there. A lot of people never thought it would come to Destiny, so even being mentioned is huge. So,
in December, they're introducing additional updates and bug fixes intended to improve the areas of the Crucible, such as supremacy scoring and better spawning rules. Spawning needs some help.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that 100%.
Dude, that's another thing about survival, is if you can figure out, if you're playing a team that knows how to split your spawns, it's rough.
Yeah.
It is rough.
Yeah. Yep. Better incentives for completing Crucible matches and penalties for quitting competitive games. They mention a quitter penalty system is currently in development, and you can expect an update on the deployment of this in the new year. That's a big one for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The quitter penalty will be nice. Another one is continued improvements to Iron Banner and faction rallies, including uniqueness of rewards. So the next Iron Banner and faction rally will introduce improvements in both these areas. I think we can we scroll down here?
Yeah, I think they show that we're going to see some ornaments.
Yes.
On Iron Banner, and I think the faction rally as well.
Right, and they said from what I understand, if I read this right, we will be able to purchase the armor with, of course, requirements. And then I think, for example, like from Shax, he's going to have a rotating weapon each week. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
And this stuff's coming on, the armor ornaments is December 5th, and then the launch of Season 2, and then the faction armor and weapons and stuff like that is December 12th.
So they mentioned ornaments will be unlocked in Season 2 on Vanguard, Crucible, Trials of the Nine, Iron Banner, Dead Orbit, Future War Cult, New Monarchy, Eater of Worlds, Raid Lair armor. So almost all the major armors, with the exception of the planetary locations, will have
cool stuff.
Ornaments. This is really cool. And they show a preview, for instance, with Lord Saladin, and he has all the ornaments available, and you had to complete a task to earn it. This one was 25 Iron Banner matches for, I think this is the class item for this particular one. So I like the way that they're going to do this. This is cool.
I mean, this just adds grinding. We want some grindage in the game.
Yeah.
Like, this is clear rewards, clear, our dedicated time to the game. We've got a goal, This is great. This is good stuff. So, am I reading this right too? Looking at this week, I mean, the next is Lord Shax. Are the vendors... he's got armor and faction rewards too. And like I said, I think they mentioned here the weapon will rotate. Yeah, weapon will rotate weekly on factions that have them. So, I mean, we're back to
this is
what
like
we're
D1.
Used to, right? Yeah, exactly.
The armor and
so this
stuff's
is fantastic.
always available.
Yeah,
and you'll have rotating weapons.
It takes tokens and shards.
Yep.
Very cool.
Bringing us back. Cool. And then they kind of explain how that system works. New ways to spend surplus currency materials, so you'll be able to spend tokens and legendary shards on vendor inventory. Xur is going to have new items. So let's talk about that for a second. He's going to have some new stuff and some returning stuff. 3 of coins. It is a simpler 3 of coins that boosts exotic drop rates from any source for 4 hours. So it's basically just a... kind of like an XP booster and stuff like that. There's no stacking mechanics. There's no limit. They cost 3 legendary shards each. So this is cool. I'm down with this. You can use
out of
that,
everything in this blog post. Yeah, I mentioned that, right? But out of everything in this blog post, that was probably the most random to me, that 3 of coins is coming back. I love consumables. Don't get me wrong. It's like that. It taps into that, I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to say. You pop that, and it's like for the next 4 hours, oh, this would be great. There's that much more chance to get an exotic. But it's not like, I don't even, what was it, an episode or 2 ago that you're hinting at, I mentioned that I haven't gotten a lot of exotic engrams. I have gotten a couple more since then, but I don't feel like I'm missing a lot of exotics. Somehow I've gotten them. So... I mean, it's weird to get 3 of coins back when one of the complaints is that we're getting everything too fast, So I don't know.
I think that one is probably geared towards players that want a better return on the smaller amount of time they may play.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Right.
Like,
well, if that's the most random thing to me out of this entire blog post, I'll take it.
And then he's also going to sell something called a faded engram that you buy with legendary shards. In the preview, it shows 97 legendary shards is the cost, but it guarantees a decryption as an exotic that already isn't in your collection.
It's very cool. I worry about this because I really hope nobody gets a duplicate. That would
it's not
defeat the whole
supposed to work
purpose.
that way.
Yeah, that would defeat the purpose. But let's hope the coding is correct. But this is cool, very cool. Make stuff expensive. Make it more than 97. I was listening to a couple podcasts this week, and people are wondering if this is, because I don't think they specifically say if it's account wide or character based.
I
think it's account.
I imagine it would be account wide, but I guess we'll have to find out.
Yeah, this is cool though. That's neat. You got something Xur will have. 2 things now that he'll have each week.
I wonder what happens if you have all of the exotics unlocked.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have a
duplicate.
Yeah. Maybe you can't buy it.
It says if any remain. So yeah, either
okay.
you can't buy it or you're just going to get a duplicate.
A rando.
Yeah.
They've got some changes to the weapon and armor mods. Mm-hmm. You'll be able to dismantle rare quality mods into gunsmith materials, and it will also have a chance to produce legendary mod components. And then Banshee will be selling specific legendary mods for direct purchase that will rotate daily and cost legendary shards and mod components. So this is going to be great because I have literally only ever gotten one kinetic mod, like for a weapon.
I can't find my arc ones. Like I still don't have. I think I finally got it on console for all my armor, an arc mod. But I need one for my boots on PC, and I never have what I need to. Yeah, there's a lot. Like I've heard hunter cloak mods or something like that, or chests, or it's one of them. Maybe boots are really hard to come by. Like they're almost never available. So this will be great, where you can at least have a chance at getting exactly what you need. I hope they keep going with the mod system. There's a lot that can be done there. I think they're more than aware of that, and I think over time we'll see some depth added to this little mechanic in the game. This one's pretty interesting. Commander Zavala and Lord Shaxx will sell gift consumables for legendary shards that can be used during a strike or crucible match. They grant bonus rewards to everyone in the activity upon completion, friend or foe alike, and award anything from faction tokens to a round of exotics for everyone in the match. That's kind of cool. You're like, yeah, I'm going to hook everybody up today with these. That is cool. Buy a round for everyone. Yeah. This next one, I think, is a big one. They're going to, so they say exploit safeguards on chest and resource nodes are greatly relaxed, and players should encounter them less frequently. This is kind of a loaded statement because it seems like they're fully acknowledging that there are some mechanics in effect on chests and planetary materials that people have been complaining about since day one. And all they never said is, like, if you get empty chests, let us know. But that's all they've really talked about. They've never fully acknowledged that there were any cooldowns or anything like that. But at the very least, they're saying that they're going to make some accommodations, in that even if they say even if they do encounter those rates, you're never going to get nothing. So token drop rates is only reduced to 30% instead of 0, and Glimmer is unaffected. And then they say we want to associate a visual indicator with this in a future update, but we weren't able to do it now. How do you feel about this being in the game at all? Well, the fact that 0% is even in a sentence altogether instead of 0%. The problem I have is I don't see how farming is a problem in a game where you can't progress. Yeah. With farming anything. Just let them do it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand it. What's it hurting? Yeah. Either way. Vendors will only beckon you to hand in reputation tokens when you're carrying enough to earn an engram. Thank God. Dude, I had this thought, like, when I pull up the tower multiple times since the game launched, I'm like, oh, cool. Okay, they're telling me probably that I can get an engram. Then you get there, and nope. It's like, okay, this is fantastic. Like this, I'm glad this is now going to be a thing.
Yeah.
Come see me because I'm going to give you a reward. Not have you like 2 tokens shy.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, please. Thank you.
That'll be less annoying. So, and then they list some changes to reputation token economy. Most of it is increases in rewards for different things. The only thing, though, is that with those increases, they are increasing the reputation required from each faction. For destinations, it's 37% more, and the gunsmith, it's 50% more. That math doesn't add up for me. Isn't it 20 tokens for a destination faction?
Roughly, yeah.
So that would be 27.4 tokens. How does that work?
I don't know. Let's just hope they didn't increase it on both ends for it to feel exactly the same.
Yeah.
Can't imagine they did that.
I know that there's some math, like, because you're dealing with
clearly.
whole numbers here, and they got to make it all balance out and stuff. But
the percentages.
I might have to like check this out at depth when it comes out.
I'm gonna scroll back up here real quick too. A couple more things they mentioned. I don't think we mentioned this. Ongoing improvements to exotics, including adjustment to reduce instances of duplication. But the first bullet point is what I wanted to mention. They plan to tune underperforming exotics, and will continue to make targeted updates and improvements. And then I also wanted to mention this one. Like I almost got like I don't even know what you would call it. I just kind of looked away for a minute. The emote interface that they finally mentioned. They're still working on it, but it's going to be in the new year.
I was almost certain this was coming with season 2.
Yeah. So it's not. I was like, no, this is like at this point they should just never do. I mean, I really want them to, but it's like the emote interface. It's got to be that item that just, it's always on the board.
Yeah.
It just keeps getting pushed down because there's more important things to work on.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's always that thing that's like, well, let's just push this one out.
Yeah.
This can wait.
You gotta pick one. Gotta pick one or two. Which one of these have to go, you know?
All I know is I don't spend a lot of money at Eververse. I mean, I probably spent $10 in Destiny 1. If you give me, I've said it before, a way to customize more than one emote, there's very likely that I will spend more money. I won't fund any content, probably, not near that much, but I would definitely spend some more money.
Yeah.
Give me my bow back, though. I'm gonna
give them the bow already.
That. Please. The salute just isn't quite the same. I need the bow.
I feel you.
We cover it?
That is all the major stuff that they've detailed.
I don't think we indicated on every one that we talked about, but all of this that we, if we didn't say into the next year,
they're supposed to come in the
these
next
things
2
are
weeks.
coming December 5th or December 12th.
Yeah.
So there
Which,
you go.
Is some solid improvements, I believe.
It is. Yeah. I mean, that's many bullet points hit. I mean,
This is
honestly,
outside of sandbox changes that they have not yet.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And they said there will be in-depth patch notes on that as well, which I'm assuming, I want to say Wisniewski said on Crucible Radio that they were going to, no, maybe this is a couple interviews ago that I went back and watched. They were going to mention that on the third stream, but of course that didn't take place. So we will see it in the patch notes. But I got to say, this is more, sooner. This is more stuff sooner than I thought we were going to get in this blog post.
Yeah.
So I scrolled down and saw these screenshots and was like,
a lot of
yes.
To be frank, a lot of it is stuff returning from D1.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest thing that is new is the Masterworks.
Yeah.
And then armor ornaments on everything is a new, thing. We've had ornaments in the past on in-game stuff. I think it's cool that it'll be on almost everything now.
Yeah, very cool.
It
is stuff you thought would just be at the launch of Destiny 2, right?
Right.
Many of these things.
All these things were things I would have expected to be in Destiny 2 at launch.
Well, this is something I've already said before. I really hope with Destiny 3, and I don't know if this is, with it being on PC now, it's kind of a different world. I really hope, if possible, they can change the way they give us sequels to this game. Because, like we just said, it's fantastic. We're getting a lot of this stuff. It's a step in the right direction. We're pumped. I feel like they're going to get to this place quicker, faster than it took them to get there with Destiny 1. But I hope we don't have to do this again. Like, backtrack and wait for it after the launch of another iteration of the game again. I understand why it happened. Obviously, we've talked about it, but it's like, I hope they're talking about ways for this not to happen again. But to be positive, this stuff looks great. I can't wait to have reasons to log in every day.
Yep. They did tackle the XP mechanics topic again, which as much as I have to eat my words, they did bring it up.
I didn't think, when I read it, I didn't think it was going to meet what you were hoping for. Am I right? Because they don't really.
It's a little bit yes, a little bit no.
At least they bring it up.
Yeah, I'm not going to go on a whole diatribe here, but
yeah.
So the XP thing was a big conversation last week in the community. We talked about it a lot after that episode with a lot of our team and other players and different people that we talk about the game with. And some people felt completely different, and I respect that. You don't have to feel like I feel. So they explain that, I don't know, they kind of just try to flesh out what they did and why and what happened here. There's one sentence that I really don't agree with in here, and it was the one that I predicted they wouldn't even include. They said, our intention was to keep slower paced activities as rewarding as high intensity grinding without confusing variations in displayed XP values. But the silent nature of the mechanic betrayed the expectation of transparency that you have for Destiny 2. So,
it's an interesting statement.
My issue with this statement is that they're essentially saying they wanted to ensure that
the silent nature of the mechanic.
If you are grinding or farming, that you would not receive the same reward as a slower pace activity, but they didn't want to confuse you by doing it. My interpretation of that is, we think you're stupid, so we'd rather not confuse you. That's what it communicates to me. So
it's just great,
it's one of two problems for me. Either they think that we're idiots, or they're full of crap. Which one is worse?
And it's, thinking about it even more after last week, I can't imagine that they, knowing how passionate this community is and that we will figure out everything, I can't imagine, I'm still not fully sold that there was malicious intent with this. I just can't imagine they wouldn't think that the community wouldn't figure this out. That's why I'm just not sold on it being intentional.
Like, you wouldn't think that we wouldn't figure out this is going on, because your expectation is Bungie knows that we're smart and we figure stuff out. But they're saying that they didn't want us to see this because it would be confusing to us, confusing to the community that figures that has people that are known as scientists of the game. So you're saying that your system was, as self-admittedly, so confusing that you obfuscated it to a community that picks apart the game almost in binary. That's why I don't buy this. That's why I don't like they are opting to say that they expected us to be dumb instead of just coming out and saying, like, yeah, we made it a non-transparent system because we didn't want it to be obvious what was going on. that's why I just don't totally buy this, because I don't think that they think we are stupid. I don't buy that for a second, because there are so many incredibly talented, intelligent adults that play this game that if they had played it and the system was obvious, we would have figured it out within a week, no problem.
I don't know, and maybe we're looking into that sentence too far. I mean, without confusing variations in displayed XP, I mean, I get it. I mean, I get the statement is it kind of contradicts itself, but I don't know. I don't know, man.
I know that I'm totally coming across like I'm on the warpath on this.
Well, no, it's a valid point. I mean, that's the whole point of the podcast, so we can talk about things.
I am trying to be intellectual about it. I am actively trying to preclude my fascination and adoration for this studio in impacting my intellectual opinion of what's going on here. And I just don't buy it on an intellectual level.
To me, the focus is more of the displayed XP values than confusing the word confusing, because it says, that's why I'm saying maybe we're looking too far into the statement, because it says our intention was to keep slower paced activities as rewarding as high intensity grinding without confusing variations in displayed XP. That's why I think just on the surface, maybe it's a simple statement without being confusing, comparing slower paced with high intensity grinding. But when you go on to say in displayed XP values, it's like, okay, hold on. So I get it. I get where it may not be an on the surface statement. It's just, I don't know. It's one of those things. I'm glad they brought it up again, but I don't know. Maybe we'll read about this in a book several years down the road.
I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, this is their statement, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. I
don't know that we'll hear about it again after
we
this.
Won't. They are saying that the changes that they have made, they realize that their fix is unintentionally a little bit slower than it needs to be for some activities. So they're collecting data, and they are going to be making some further changes in what the XP earn rates are for certain activities. And that's going to be in a future update.
Right. Yeah, of course we'll see. We'll see about that. We'll hear about that at least. I don't know that they'll address this specific thing again. I mean, this is the whole point, of the podcast, man. I totally get and respect that, you're trying to call out a specific thing possibly here. After thinking about it, I err on the side of, everything that they've done and stood for up to this point. So I get it. I mean, I get both sides of it. So one of those things, how far can benefit of the doubt go?
Yeah, I have a hard time believing this based on their track record of this particular aspect of the game. They have been a bit exploitive in how they have utilized the Eververse.
They're smart. We're smart.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, I just don't buy that they thought it would be too confusing. There's nothing confusing about it except for the fact that we would have saw that there was a system in place. That's what would have been confusing, and we would have figured out that there was a system in place, and then how the community would have reacted to that is up for debate, but they obviously didn't want to even have that debate,
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem I have, and I think that's just going to be where my opinion is going to lie on this. I'm interested to see how they move forward, and I hope that we don't see something like this in the future. I'm going to be very, very wary.
Right. Yeah. I hope not. I don't think so. I really don't think so. But speaking of the future, going forward, we plan to continue this dialogue as openly and frequently as possible. This will be an ongoing process, but one that we are committed to. That's what we want to hear.
All right. Well, let's see it.
I hope, and they're referring to, of course, this whole blog post in the Bungie podcast.
Yeah.
So
I think
I
either
hope,
of
we see
these continuing in some kind of format like this will do a lot for the players that care about these things. A lot of people have said, well, this is great, but I think it's too little too late. That may be the case. But that's okay. It'll be okay.
Right.
Like,
I mean, it's crazy. It feels like so much has happened in 3 months that, like the whole too little too late thing. To me, it's not too little too late. It's only been 3 months. It's a full-blown relaunch
there's
iteration
plenty
of
of
the
people
game.
that came back a year after Destiny
Right.
1,
Right. Yeah, but and I think it's, even for the people that say it's too little too late, I don't think it's just this 3-month span. It goes back to what I was saying a minute ago about us backtracking, and now we're getting things that worked in Destiny 1.
Mm-hmm.
That's completely understandable. I get that point of view. But you know what?
I think as we see new,
this is the way it's panning out.
As we see brand new mechanics and systems come into the game, that people will return with interest. You get something like private matches and or ranked into a good version of the Crucible that people can really dig their heels into. They'll come check it out.
Yeah, the game's gonna get to a great place, and they're gonna learn a lot from this. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be good. I will say, anybody that didn't read this, the last thing they say is, thank you for playing, for being passionate about the Destiny 2 experience, and for working with us as we look to continuously improve our game and studio communication. So this blog post is huge. I'm very excited to see what pans out over the next few months.
Yeah, and they mentioned on the podcast, they really wanted to have Chris Barrett on the podcast, but he was out of town that week. But they mentioned to clarify, he is the director over all of Destiny 2 content moving forward. So he is the guy that is overall in charge of all the expansions that are coming out, all the season stuff. Like, he's the top of that food chain. So they're promising he will be on some future podcasts, and he's the guy that we're going to be looking at in terms of major overall communication of what their intents are for Destiny 2. So looking forward to that. And I think that's a really good person that we want to be in charge of that. He put out great content historically, and
I agree.
So that bodes well, in my opinion. I'm excited.
Me as well. I can't wait. Can't wait.
We asked for some feedback. You guys really sounded off on Twitter for us. Do you want to read a couple of these? Let's do it.
So let's start with Twitter here. Let's see.
Down.
J. Franzi Skates. I am hopeful and appreciate their direction. I would love it if they would have a surprise or two up their sleeves. Horde mode. Yeah, I'm with you on that one, but I don't think we're getting it just yet. Infinite Forest. That they don't share until it's live and we flip out. Surprises for me in today's culture are so few and far between, so when that happens, beautiful. Yeah, man, most of this stuff's positive feedback. This is great. I mean, this is what we expect.
There's a lot of positive. There was some stuff that people are kind of on the fence. There's a couple people who are like, nah, I'm tired of this game.
Right.
I mean, it's fair. Like, there's people of all sorts. Ganymede said, Masterworks, better lost sector rewards, and a few other loot system corrections sound good. Was not impressed with anything on PvP end. Then I heard about this spider launcher. Confirmed it. Now I want nothing more than to spend an afternoon launching exploding spiders. Game saved.
Yeah, and Thaden says, I'm overall excited for the new additions and info we got and are getting. Mildly concerned about the mod system. Disappointed by the community's response. He also says excited for ornaments, masterworks, and buying from vendors. I'm assuming probably, Thaden, you're talking about many of the responses in the community where, a lot of these things looking like little Band-Aid quick fixes type things. But that's good stuff.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of great responses, so we appreciate what you guys thought.
Thank you guys so much.
We had one on Facebook. Julian said, I think we're heading in the right direction, but the game needs focus. We keep seeing all this merch and gimmicky Alexa things when we want to be able to just earn bright engrams at a consistent rate. Haha. The post had a lot of great changes coming. I just hope they're as great in the game as they are on paper.
It is very true, you know, like we wanted all of these extra things in Destiny 1 to buy just for our shelves and things of that nature. But we didn't think about, you know, that maybe the game wouldn't have feel like it has quite as much depth to a lot of players.
Yeah. I see people like bring up stuff like this, like, and you'll see like a tweet
totally
from the
different
Bungie
teams.
store, and then it'll be like somebody will say like, "Quit selling stuff and fix your game."
It's like
I want to say this to people. Okay, they have knocked it out of the park on merchandising this year, and for somebody like me, I'm just head over heels. Okay, so understand that the products that they sell, they're not for everybody. If you don't like it, it's obviously not for you. But there's a lot of fans that really waited a long time for stuff like this and are really happy that they spent time making dumb crap, you know? Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's fun, but understand that them doing this, selling these things, creating these things, it doesn't take away from development time. It does deliver them more profits. In the end, one would hope that gives them more money for developers, for new content. Now, whether they put that in their pocket or they do it that way, I couldn't tell you, but I see all this stuff as a win-win in my opinion, and I don't think that people should roast Bungie for creating products that are in demand.
Hey, we wanted it. I still want that novel, but we wanted it in D1. We wanted any way to get the loot for our shelves.
Yeah.
Dude, before I forget, I saw a funny tweet today that said something along the lines of, this isn't it exactly, but the difference between Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 is we still complained about Destiny 1, but we played it for 5 hours a day. Destiny 2, we complain and we're just not playing it as much. It's like, you know,
Fair
that's not everybody, obviously.
Some people,
totally,
yes, some people know, but
yeah, but I just thought that was interesting because, yeah, it goes right along with what we said. Even releasing this blog, even releasing the podcast, the negative feedback's going to happen. So you might as well just embrace it and communicate, right?
Yeah.
Basically is what you said.
Yeah.
So
it can happen no matter what. There's just people on the internet that suck. There's nothing you can do about
the internet.
All right. Well, that was our reset this week, dude. Coming off of that, all this stuff aside, I'm super excited to play on Tuesday. I don't care how anybody
Osiris,
else feels. Man. I don't care how awesome or long or short the campaign is going to be. It's new content.
Can't wait.
It's going to be fun. I
still got to buy my season pass on PC, man. It's gonna happen.
I got to get it too. Yeah. I'm going to have to buy that this week now that I think about it. Yes. So.
Very exciting.
Curse of Osiris. We will be talking about it next week on the show, of course. We may have a guest for you. We will see.
See how much content we can get through in a week. That's the thing is like I don't ever want to rush, but I want to get through a decent chunk of it so we can talk about it.
I think based on what I've heard, we'll probably have all the campaign strikes and the major stuff complete.
It'll be the forging of the weapons.
Yeah. I think we'll probably be talking about that for a little while because I'm expecting that we're not going to be able to access them all at once. Like I'm willing to bet they're going to roll them out over a few weeks, like they did for the ornaments or the artifacts, the Rise of Iron, which will be cool.
You're spot on.
All
right. How about some Durfam Discourse, dude?
Yeah, we got some speak pipes.
2 this week.
Yes, sir. We got one from our ambassador, Maddie Misfit. Let's take a listen.
Hey guys, Maddie Misfit, the bearded ambassador here. Just wanted to say that after reading all the news about the updates and listening to the Bungie podcast, that I am feeling much better about my investment in Destiny 2 across 2 consoles. All the things that they are talking about are just very reassuring as to the state of the game and the future of the game and their intent with the game. And I was in a dark place before all this news, and am absolutely feeling much better about where Destiny 2 is headed. And definitely check out the Bungie podcast if you haven't already. There's some really good tidbits and some really good talk about how things work and how things were going over there.
All right, Maddie, thanks so much, dude. Appreciate the feedback.
Love
and
the
your
optimism.
Thoughts. Yeah, your thoughts. I don't llove that he said this, but it was interesting. He said he was in a dark place with Destiny, but not so much anymore. I agree with you. Like we've already talked about, this communication was excellent. So It's great to hear you're excited and optimistic about the future of Destiny 2.
Yeah,
Very cool.
If you felt down about this game, give yourself permission to get excited again.
Yes.
Some people, they overcommit, and they express their disappointment, and you might have a hard time allowing yourself to turn it back, turn that hype train back on. Just do it. So there's nothing wrong with being excited about cool stuff.
The good old Destiny reset hype train, all the way back to TTK.
Get on board.
Where's the choo-choo, Cyborg?
Choo-choo!
There you go. Old school. Oh, man. All right, we got another speak pipe from Snatching Panda. This is some good old classic Dirt Fam shout-outs. Let's take a listen.
Hey Derp fam, Snatching Panda here, your Orange Clan leader. With the end of Season 1 rapidly approaching, I want to take a minute to show some appreciation for two members of the fam that have been doing an awesome job spreading the Derp love and helping others in the community. Those two individuals are MD Sailors 771 Pro and the Jumpsmith. Day in and day out, I see you both active on the clan pages and the Xbox LFG, looking to help as many people through the different endgame activities as you can. Be it the raid, nightfalls, trials, whatever. This cooperative and selfless approach is what I love about the Derp fam, and you two exemplify that supportive nature. At least 17 Guardians have you to thank for patiently taking the time to teach them the different raid encounters and helping them slay Callus. So thank you, and I look forward to playing with you both again in Season 2. Shout out to the Skill Squad and the HFC. You know who you are. See you all in the Discords.
Panda Bear, thanks for the speak pipe. Thanks for giving a shout out to these two Guardians. I've been seeing them on all the time. Very proud of these two individuals. They are demonstrating what the Derp fam is all about.
Yeah, this is great, man. We guys, send these emails and speak pipes. We love to hear this stuff. We know this is happening out there still, even with Destiny 2. So don't hesitate to send some shout outs. We love to get them.
Absolutely,
very much so.
Speakpipe.com/Destiny Reset. We got a few patron shout outs this week, don't we?
We do, yeah. We've got several. Once again, thank you guys so much. Shout out to Casa Grande. Oh man, he even told me how to say this, and I don't think I'm gonna say it right. Sika Martin.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
is that right? Man,
so.
I'm sorry if it's not, but thank you so much, Rich Physics, and Physics, dude. It is late.
That's okay.
It is late. Thank you so much, Rich Psychics. And this next one, do you want to do this next one? Because it looks as though, go for it.
I think it's Tater T-Hot.
Yeah, see, that's what I was going to say, but you just want to say Tater Tot.
Yeah. Tater Thought.
Anyways, Tater Thought.
It's a funny play
thought.
on words.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, guys, sorry, we kind of had some fun there with your names, but we really appreciate it. Seriously, Dirt fan patrons, you guys supporting us, it's a big deal, and it means a lot to us. So
absolutely, yeah. If you don't know what a patron is, go to patreon.com/Destiny Reset, and you can become a patron by supporting our production budget of the show for as little as $1 a month pledge. Doing so gets you a few exclusive incentives, such as shout out on the show, your name on our website in perpetuity. You get access to a special Discord channel for patrons only, where you get to grill us and ask us anything you want. We have to answer you. And you can even give us suggestions and feedback on the show. We're trying to get our patrons involved in kind of the behind the scenes aspects of the show. So if that's something you're interested in, that'd be an excellent benefit for you. So patreon.com/Destiny Reset. And we appreciate so much your support of our show. It literally saves AER0KNIGHT and I money out of our pockets. So
Yes, very much so.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, man. Well, let's wrap this up. Do we have any iTunes reviews this week?
You know what? We do. Mike Bones 8.
Mike Bones.
Listener since the beginning.
Mike Bones.
Destiny Reset is favorite Destiny podcast. Thank you so much.
That means a lot to us. Thank you for that review.
Yes, it does.
Please, if you're on iTunes listening, leave us a review. As we increase our reviews, and especially positive ones, it helps us get seen by more people that may be looking for a Destiny podcast, which is a win for us. So thank you for those. Where can people find you, AER0KNIGHT?
You can find me on Twitter at the AER0KNIGHT, and YouTube and Twitch. It's AER0KNIGHT. What about you, buddy?
Wonderful. At CyborgSasquatch on Twitter, twitch.tv/CyborgSasquatch. Also, if you haven't caught it, I'm on another podcast now called Splash Damage Radio with my buddies, ShadowCon and I'm the Blue Ranger. Go check it out. It's kind of a open format podcast. We talk about all kinds of stuff. If you're a nerd, you'll probably love it. Splash Damage Radio at Splash Damage Rad on Twitter. Come give us a listen. You can find us at Destiny Reset on Twitter and www.destinyresetpodcast.com. That's your source for all things DRP. Ready to go to bed?
Everything's there.
It's all
I think
there.
I've already fell asleep like 3 or 4 times. Not that this stuff isn't engaging.
You pulled it off.
I don't know what is going on.
It was a long weekend, man. You know, like I'm tired too.
Yep, it's one of those things. Start of the work week. We're already into the Monday of a new work week while we're sitting here recording this.
Yep.
It has rolled over past the 1:00 a.m. mark. Anyways, all right, guys. Great episode. Cyborg blast as usual. Until next week, have fun playing Destiny 2 and take care, Guardians.